He was worth $500 million, owned mansions in 6 countries, private jets, diamond mines, and then he disappeared. This isn't fiction. These are the true stories of the world's richest criminals who vanished without a trace. Let's start with the most chilling one of all, Jan Marsalek. Marsalek was the COO of a German fintech company called Wirecard. On paper, it was a multi-billion-dollar empire. But in 2020, it collapsed like a house of cards. $2 billion? Missing. Marsalek? He simply vanished. But here's the twist. This man wasn't just a finance executive. He had ties to Russian intelligence, secret military operations in Libya, and even traveled with fake passports. Interpol launched a global manhunt. Nothing. Rumors say he's living comfortably under protection in Moscow. Others think he changed his face with plastic surgery. Billions vanished. Marsalek vanished. And the world still has no answers. They called her the Angel of Death. Charles Cullen worked in at least 9 hospitals across New Jersey and Pennsylvania. But he didn't just switch jobs, he left behind a trail of death. Hospitals knew something was off, but instead of reporting him, they passed him along, fearing lawsuits and bad press. How many people did Cullen kill? He confessed to 29, but experts believe it could be up to 400. He injected patients with lethal doses of insulin or digoxin, often slipping past detection. He once said, "I thought people weren't suffering anymore. I was helping." But Cullen wasn't helping anyone. The system let him hide in plain sight. Even after internal investigations, he kept finding work. It wasn't until 2 nurses at Somerset Medical Center grew suspicious and alerted authorities that the nightmare finally began to unravel. But how did he survive that long? In the early 2000s, Cullen was working the night shift at Somerset Medical Center. Nurse Amy Lochran began noticing patterns. Patients dying suddenly, their records altered. One victim had no prior heart issues, yet died of digoxin poisoning. Another died after Cullen insisted on taking over their care. Amy decided to wear a wire. She risked everything, her job, her safety, just to catch him. And finally one night, Cullen confessed. He was arrested in 2003, but the aftermath was chilling. Hospitals tried to distance themselves. Lawsuits piled up, yet no one wanted to admit they'd let a killer roam free. Charles Cullen confessed to killing at least 40 patients, but investigators believed the real number could be over 400. He was labeled the Angel of Death, and still, no hospital executive was criminally charged. It raised one terrifying question. How many more killers like him had slipped through the cracks? Cullen wasn't some shadowy monster hiding in the dark. He was trusted, smiling, professional. It wasn't until a brave nurse risked everything that the system was finally exposed. In 2006, Charles Cullen was sentenced to 18 consecutive life sentences. He will never walk free. But justice didn't come from the system. It came from a nurse named Amy Lochran. She risked her job, her safety, even her life to bring down the killer working right beside her. Her bravery forced the world to ask, how many others slipped through? Charles Cullen wasn't a one-time anomaly. He was a symptom of a much deeper, darker problem. And he left behind one haunting legacy. Hospitals saved lives until they didn't.